Good morning, students. I am Vipul Kuralkar. I welcome you all on behalf of Hebron Higher Secondary School. Today I am going to teach you a poem from your Flamingo textbook, that is My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das. First of all, let's try to understand what is the importance of mother in our lives. It is said that mother is God for a child. Without a mother, the life of a child is useless. Just think of those orphan children in the world whose life is futile. They cannot lead their lives into a proper way. It is said in our society, the most responsible women are mothers. It is said that when a child will turn evil or good, that depends upon the values taught by her mother. So entirely we can say the future of the society or the entire future of next generation, we can say it is in the hands of responsible woman, that is mother. And it is our responsibility that how we should take care of them. Then before I would start this poem, I would like to tell you one story about the love of a mother. Once there was a woman whose child was lost in the market, and she went to the police to report the loss. The police said that, "Oh mother, we have some lost and found children in our custody. You go and see them." She went through all the children, but she could not find anyone. She could not find her child. Then the policeman asked her, "Then, oh mother, tell me the description of your son." She said that her child is contorted. A child has squint in one eye. A child is disfigured. A child is not able to walk properly. And that point of time, the policeman said, "Oh mother, it is better that you take one child from our custody and give your motherly love." But that mother said, "No, I want my child. I want to give love to my son." So this story, what does it show? It just want to say that it proves that how heavenly love, that though we feel the divinity of God in the mother's love. Let's go to the poem. But before we go to the poem, let's go through some of the information about the poet Kamla Das. Students, Kamla Das, she was born in Malabar, Kerala. She was born in year 1934 on 31st March. She is recognized as one of India's foremost poet. Most of her childhood that was spent in Kolkata. She belonged to the family of artists, but she was ignored there, as at the very small age, at a very young age, she was married to an elderly person. She was dissatisfied with that life. Her mother was a writer. Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and indigenous flavor of the soil. Indigenous means she has that natural, local, native flavor of our country. Kamla Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhavi Kutti. She used to write in her own language. In one of her poems, Introduction, she is very honest about expressing her views, what she feels as a woman. She is very honest in express her sexuality. In that poem, she says that she was not satisfied with her marriage life. She has even expressed that poem is actually the forerunner of feminist writing. In that poem, she expresses her anger, depression, and hopelessness for being suppressed and dominated by patriarchal society. She does not find true love. She fails to get that love. She says in that poem that what the man wants in her, their body allures them, not her personality. That poem, a poem named introduction, that poem has really played a critical role in the establishment of Indian feminist movement. And what we are going to learn in this poem, the theme of this poem is a person's love for his or her mother. Second point, separation. When a person has to get separated from his or her mother, what pain he has to go through, that we are supposed to learn in this poem. And then death, as it is said, death keeps no calendar. Death is, we can say, inevitable truth of life. Everybody has to accept it. And insecurity of life, we never know when we will struck by death. So these are the themes of this poem. Kamala Das, she has published novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhavi Kutti. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust. As I told you, that she is very honest in expressing her thoughts even about her sexuality. Even in her poems and her short stories, in her novels, she has expressed this thing. She had an affair with a man called Sadiq Ali after her marriage. Even she has expressed that thing in one of her poems. So she does not want her reader to put away her. She wants her reader to be, she has made that bond with the reader in such a way that she has expressed all her thoughts in the most pleasant manner. She is very honest. You would rarely find such poets. In addition to 5 books of poetry, she is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationship in lyrical idioms. So students, this poem, the subject matter of most of her poem is very beautiful. It is so bold. It is sometimes tormented due to her marriage life, and it is so sensitive too. External factors never get reflected in her poems. She is very good at expressing her inner feelings. And the themes already I have discussed. The theme of this poem is person's love for his mother, separation, death, and insecurity of life. And this one is really a very poignant, sensory, sensitive poem, and that captures the glimpse of subtle intricacies of mother and mother-daughter relationship. It talks about the insecurities of life. She has also apprehension of about her mother, that what her life would be after her mother's death. Now let's go to the poem and try to understand each and every line. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin, last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors, open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away and looked out of at young trees sprinting and merry children spilling out of their homes, but after the airport security check. Standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan and pale, as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear, but all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Look, we have gone through the reading of the poem. Now, let's go through the explanation. In the very first 2 lines, the poet said, driving from my parents' home to Cochin, last Friday morning. Here the poet says, when she met her parent, when she spent her holidays with her mother, and after spending holidays, she was driving, they were heading towards Cochin airport. And at that point of time, her mother was seated beside her. And she was struck by the thought that what her life would be after her mother's death. I saw my mother beside me. She observed her mother. And when she looked at her mother, she was pained. She was grieved. She had that pain of losing her, that what my life would be. And she observed that she was dozing. She was taking a light sleep with her mouth open. And here the poet compares her. The poet compares her mother's face with a corpse, with a dead body. Why? Because after individual dies, the blood being stopped in his system and the natural glow of his body is reduced. And what happens? It takes on that white pallor. So his face looks so pale and pallid and weak. And as her mother has lost the vitality of the youth, she's lost her power, her vigor, her frivolous nature, and due to which she looks like a dead person. She has that pallor of a dead person. I saw my mother beside me. She was dozing, open mouth, her face ashen, means ash-like, or it was looking so dull, it was looking colorless, it was looking pale, it was looking pallid. And that was as old as she looked out. The poet realized that fact, that her mother was aging. And as we all know that aging is a natural process. It cannot be, it is not reversible. And as we are born, in a sense we can say we are dying. And as soon as we realize this fact, that how impermanent the life is, we can really detach ourselves with superficial things. And that is the truth of life. As we are living, we are going to die, and that is inevitable darkness, and that inevitable darkness is nothing but death. We are all leading towards that fact. And poet realized that fact, that her mother is now going to die. She has turned old. That was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. What did the poet did at that point of time? She was pained, she was grieved, she felt that now what would her life would be. It is better now I should put that thought away. If that grimness would come on her face, it would discourage her mother. She is not in a mood to disappoint her mother. So what she did, here the poet has created two worlds. While they were going to the airport, inside the car and outside the car. Inside the car, the poet has talked about the physical feature of old age. And outside the car, when she observed, what did she observe? She observed that she looked out of the window, she looked at young trees sprinting. Now sprinting means running. She found that the trees were running, as trees never run. Okay, they actually seem to be running due to optical illusion. Okay, but here why the poet has, here the poet has compared, here the poet has used literary device contrast. He has created two worlds to contrast two things, the world of youth and vitality and the world where people are old, the world of old age. So he has created two imagery and two pictures. First picture is of sprinting. Sprinting what? Trees sprinting. And second imagery the poet has created, that is merry children spelling. Happy children, they are coming out of their houses and going towards playground. So these two pictures that poet has created are in a complete contrast to her aging mother. And in our life also, when we are very young, we feel we can do anything, we can achieve anything. But as we are getting older, we have to accept the truth of life. Now we are, our life is coming to the shadow and we are going towards evening of our life. And at that point of time, we have to accept that fact that now whatever the duties God actually has assigned us, we have to do that. According to one poem of Shakespeare, there he has compared childhood, 7 stages of life. Here in that poem, Shakespeare has compared old age with childhood. Even in childhood, infancy, the child is dependent. In the same way that old man is dependent. He has less teeth. In the same way that child has almost, we can say, no teeth. So we can understand this fact, we can feel that this fact of life are really we have to accept any point of time that we are actually living as well as we are dying. So the poet has created two images to contrast with her aging mother. So the first picture that poet has created, it is trees sprinting, and second picture and second image is married children spilling. They are coming, spilling means coming out in great number, spilling out of their houses to play games. But after the airport security check, look, here the poet has divided this poem in two parts. The first, he has gone through her mental journey, and now her mother has woken up, and they have gone through airport security check, and her mother was standing a few yards away. And again, at this point of time, she observed her mother. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, again the poet looked at her. Again the poet observed her mother. And at that point of time, her mother was looking wan and pale, as a late winter's moon. Here the word winter is used to evoke a sense of an ending. That is the aging of a mother, frigid and inert state. She is leading a life to inevitable darkness. And she is compared with late winter's moon. In the winter season, moon is little bit, it looks so dull. It has lost its strength. So why she has compared her with the late winter's moon? We can understand this fact that because her mother has also lost that vigor, lost that vitality due to her old age. But at that point of time, she did not want to make her mother feel this fact that she was pained, she was grieved, and felt that old familiar act. She was very much aware with that pain of losing her mother. That pain was familiar with her, familiar act, my childhood's fear. She says that she accepts that she has been going through that pain since her childhood. Since childhood, in her childhood also, she had that fear of losing her mother. So she says that is familiar act for me, that is familiar pain for me, it is my childhood's fear. But all I said was, she did not want to disappoint her mother. She did not want to discourage her. All I said was, see you soon, Amma. She just said, Amma, I will see you soon. I will meet you. She had that deep desire because she does not know. Her mother has already turned so old, she would die. She is approaching her death. But she is not in a mood to discourage her. She just said, she had a deep desire. She never know whether she would meet her mother or not. She just said, see you, Amma, I will meet you. And all I did, what she did, all I did was smile, smile and smile. Look, here the word smile is very hollow. Why? Because instead of shedding tears, what she did? She smiled. Sometimes we don't want to disappoint others. And what we do? For making that person happy, okay, we express our own happiness. We share our own happiness with that person. And exactly what this daughter did. The role of a mother, the role of a woman is very complex. Okay, she has to perform the role of a daughter, sister, mother, wife. And when you talk about the role of a daughter after her marriage, she has to fight at both the front, even at her in-laws' house, even at her parents' house. She has to make that perfect equilibrium. She has to make that perfect balance to live her life. So why she had to leave her mother? Because she has her own responsibility at her own house. So what she did, she just smiled, smiled and smiled. So it talks about the ultimate truth of life, that is death, that we have to accept. Everybody in the world has to accept this fact. Now, before I would conclude the poem, I would like to tell you one story. That is about death, the story about Lord Buddha. Once there was a woman whose child had died, and she was screaming, she was weeping, she was shouting. And in that village, Lord Buddha was staying. And somebody said, "Oh mother, it is better. You go to Lord Buddha. He would bless your dead child, and your child would be revived. He would be resurrected. He is that capable that he can make your son back to life." She went to Lord Buddha, and Lord Buddha said, "Look, mother, you do one thing. You go to the village. You find somebody. Ask from one cottage to another where no death has occurred." She felt that, okay, she got a new way of bringing her son back to life. She moved from one house to another. But the answer she got was impossible. Everybody said, even in the world, wherever you go in the world, you would not find anyone where death has not occurred. And she realized that Lord Buddha had been playing trick with her, but it was not so. She understood that fact. She felt that tranquility and calmness inside her. And when she went to Lord Buddha, she understood that fact of life, that everybody, whoever is born, has to die. And she said that people said, what people are saying about Lord Buddha is really true, that Lord Buddha is infinite compassionate. He has infinite compassion. So students, this poem, this beautiful poignant poem teaches about the great thoughts, and they are our love for our mother, aging. And aging, as we all know, it is a natural process. It is irreversible. It cannot be, we can say, but what are our responsibility? And we find that old people, they want companionship. They feel pang of loneliness in their lives. And what they expect from us, they expect that we would talk to them, and their pessimistic approach to life can be shunned if we provide them love, if we provide them importance, if we provide them affection. The life would have a meaning. They can live their life very enthusiastically. They can live their life very happily. It is our responsibility. Thank you.